when I was coming up, I had Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and all those cans and shit like that, right? And all those
Mm-hmm.
foreign blacks. The thing is that they were smaller in numbers. They hung among us. They always act like they were
Mm-hmm.
black. As soon as they got their weight up and their numbers up, then you hear I'm not black or I'm this, that, and the third, or why are you complaining about slavery? And they're like, that's when you start hearing the rhetoric when they get their numbers up. But they don't be doing that shit when they
Exactly.
far few in between. And that's why I don't
Because there's no
respect
such
them. That's
thing
why
as dual allegiances. It's no such thing. And this thing about black people, this is our blessing and our cursing. We honestly are the most loving people in the world. We don't want to be territorial. We want everything equally. We want what the we want what the standards of was set for America. We want that, but America is hypocritical, and I don't think that people want to hate us because I've been to Japan, and like at first, the group of people that I was with was timid around me until I, was myself, and they seen what I wasn't portrayed in and what I could be portrayed in the media, what black Americans could be portrayed in the media. The media spreads globally and it shows us how they portray us here in America. That's shown around the world. But when these people actually get near us, they love us. Like they absolutely love us. More than they made it seem like more than what they will probably love themselves. But when they come here, they feel like maybe they feel like if they associate themselves with us, that they wouldn't get the benefits that they need to become what they become. And that hurts us socially. That hurts us socially, and globally. I'm sorry, it hurts us socially in America, and a lot of us is not willing to leave America. You see what I'm saying? Black people are so loving that I can't picture going to another country with my children and with my wife and my children, and my children not being able to see their grandmother. You get what I'm saying? As she get older, or their great grandmother, and she's really getting older. You get what I'm saying? I still got my grandmother, and black people feel like this, so we may move state to state, but we don't leave the country. You know what I'm saying? And if we all left the country, then fuck, America, where would America be? America conditioned us to want to stay here in America. They conditioned us to want to be here. As much as they tell us to leave, they really don't want us to fucking leave. And internally, I don't want to leave. That may just be an ignorance that I have of the lack of going anywhere beyond Japan, you know. But you know, in America, there are no dual alliances because whites figure either you with us or you against us. And like you said, when they are down in the dirt and they're scratching and clawing and trying to figure their way, they are going to gravitate us because we constantly show them that love. Hey, we got you. That's the natural instinct in us. We got you. We're gonna take you in. We got you. We're willing to take everybody in. But what's the coincidence that we can't take each other in? You get what I'm saying? It's something about that. I mean, overall, because it's a big misconception. People look at Chicago and they look at Detroit and stuff and apply that to all black Americans around the country when that's not the case.
fact.
You get what I'm saying? And
Fact. I got
speaking as
family. I
sure
got
here.
family out there, and plus my mentality is a little bit different from theirs. Like I'm a survivor of the There was two great migrations. There was one from up north, down south, and up to the Midwest. And after the Midwest, it went to as far as the East Coast. All right.
Hmm.
A lot of people don't talk about that, and the people who left the Midwest and why did they leave the Midwest? A lot of the brothers and sisters, I would say in some regards, had some very strong anti-Black American views,
What
or they
time
did.
frame is this?
I'm gonna say the '80s and the '90s specifically.
You talking about black people?
Some Black American people, yeah. Now I'm
Well,
not
they
one of
probably
those.
no. They more than likely they left because of the
The
drug
violence, yes, the
situation. Yeah,
violence and the
that
guns, but
all that picked up. Oh shit. He might have some connection issues, but I know that if he talking about black people leaving around the '80s and stuff, yeah, that's where here he come now. But yeah, that's where a lot of drugs and stuff picked up. And no, you just hmm
that's white supremacy, and then they wanted to go live among white people.
yes,
That's my problem with the
hmm
mindset. And, and,
yes.
and, and a lot of brothers and sisters have um, perpetuated that ideology. And this is where you got the whole black suburbanites and
That
stuff
it's a
like that.
natural feel. It's a natural feeling when you feel like everything is lost and you can't get away from certain situations. It's a natural feeling to feel that way. Unfortunately, it's a natural feeling to feel that way. And let me tell you about. Let me get everybody came up here and it was jobs and
For real.
yeah,
So,
all right.
so, 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 in like,
It made the suburban areas theirs. And around 1972, 1973, we got the mayor Coleman Young. That was the first black
you
mayor
talking
of
about
Detroit.
Deerfield or whatever, and now it got taken over by the Muslims.
Dearborn. Dearborn, yep. Oh, dog
Dearborn,
shit.
Dearborn.
Dearborn was the KKK. Yeah, that was the KKK. That was they fucking city. And yes, it is overran by these fucking Arabs now. And
Yep, yep. You can tell
who
I've
is
been around in Detroit. You know, I've
that's
been
why
around your stomping grounds.
that's why I asked you about. That's why I asked you about who running your day to day essentials, like who's running these stores and gas stations and grocery stores and shit like that. Because in the city of Detroit, most areas they got these Arabs running. All the gas stations, no matter what part of the state, but they got them running all these gas stations. But in the city of Detroit specifically, a lot of these gas stations they sell uh fucking expired candy, the king size, Reese cups or the king size fucking Snickers, two for $1, and they fucking expired. They expired in 2021, 2022. That's real shit. And I've called the health department. I've submitted pictures and all types of shit to the news stations and shit like that. And no real legitimate response
Well, the
from for
reason why,
nothing.
wait. The reason why I think it's their religion. Certain religions they have to do bad things, right? And people in the United States have what they call freedom to express their religion.
Well,
That's what
my
they're
thing is
doing.
this. My thing is this. I've lived in the suburban areas too, and I've been around. I've worked in the suburban areas, and you go to those stores and gas stations, and they got fresh fruit, fresh sandwiches, fresh coffee, fresh everything is fucking fresh. Instead of all the junk that you see in Detroit stores and all the liquor stores that they got tons of liquor stores. They got fucking 5 liquor stores in a 1 mile radius. Um, you know all owned by Arabs on top of that. It's junk in the city. You go outside the city, everything is fresh, and it's not so much junk. So and that's a problem that's still going on today. But the mayor wanted to make Detroit all black. He did. What ended up happening when he did that was it drove all white folk out across 8 Mile. Black people couldn't. That's why Detroit don't fuck with Eminem, because Eminem came up on the other side of 8 Mile, in which we couldn't cross, or else you will get killed. You see what I'm saying? So
I'm fully aware of that. That's some of the reasons why I don't support really. Like I used to listen to Kid Rock, but nah. I'm very
when you
familiar
start
with
as you
Kid
get
Rock.
older, you start to find out who these people are. And that's my point right there. When you get older, you start to find out who these people are. And once again, white folk is the most deceitful people in the world. Stop trying to find out who these people are. Stop waiting on these people to call you nigger, if you want to call that the racism and all this other different shit. Stop waiting and depending on these people to be your friend and be your family and be whatever you want them to be, and just cut it from the gate. Listen, I'm not a Muslim, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, separation or death. We was warned not too long ago, separation or death. And we as a people continue to use death.
Well, I think that the grassroots. I'll have to push back a little bit respectfully. Some of the grassroots is talking about delineation. I think you might have heard that. Like you'll probably see on my crest, we talk about delineation, right?
Hmm.
You'll see that on a lot of our logos and stuff like that. I think that that's very essential that we do delineate. You know that we do
Very essential.
separate. So I think that there's different ways of which we're
Well,
approaching.
just so I could be clear on this end, I don't mean separate from other black people, but definitely separate from our true oppressor, which is the whites. And
Whoa.
I don't believe that I don't believe that we could, as of right now, I don't believe that we could work with any other black people. There's nothing that we could do to go over and help Haiti in their situation right now. We don't have the power to. But I believe if we strengthen ourselves, then we could work to make better moves to help. But in the meantime, we have to strengthen ourselves first. So
I,
that's where I come from with it.
I could rock with that to a certain extent. I'm more or less that Black American people do need to delineate from other Black people, or other melanated people who are in the diaspora. Some of them do
Okay.
not mean us well. There's some
Right.
of them that
Right.
do have the mindset of the oppressor. Like I have a book right now that I'm looking at right now. It's called the history of indigenous slavery in Ghana from 15th to 19th century. All right, so that means these guys
Okay.
have the premise of white supremacy in their mindset to oppress people that look like them. All right. I think that we have not came to the reality that we have melanated people who hate being black, who hate
What's the name of this
melanin
book again?
skin. I'm gonna take a
Hang on one
picture.
second.
I'm gonna take a picture
Okay.
for you and I'm gonna post it up for you. I got. I'm gonna put you on with on certain game about why I have a deep understanding when it comes to some of these other ethnic groups, and I've experienced them firsthand. Being in the Northeast, they gravitate in New York and they move around from New York into Connecticut and other areas because, like like New York is where you make your money. Where you go to Connecticut, that's where you spend it and you live your life. If
Hmm.
you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's a two different mentality that's going on. You get what I'm saying? And that's what I'm highlighting here. I'm able to interact with these other ethnic groups where they feel comfortable or where they feel
Hmm.
safe. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see what their mindsets are, how they moving, and once they get their numbers up, they're very anti Black American.
It never
Um,
fails.
and that's kind of my
Well,
issue.
you catch it through conversation anyway, right? I mean, they not that on code for you to be like on. They not that on code for you to not peep it out like within the first hour of talking to them, right?
Well, it all depends. It all depends. Like some of them will go to lengths of trying to cosplay and to impersonate black people. Like they'll try to act like the black cool guy on the job or something when they
Hmm.
really got some hatred towards black people. You know what I mean? If you look up to the Jumbotron, I got the book that's posted up in there so you can kind
Yeah, I
of
see it.
understand where I'm coming from. I got other books like called A Pound of Flesh, the value of the enslaved from the womb to the grave in the building of a nation. All right. The
Okay.
other book that I got is The American Slave Coast, the history of the slave breeding industry. All right. The other books that I got on just strictly on slave breeding in my possession.
You know what?
This,
I'm sorry to cut you off. What's this cat name? Let me see something. I think I know where I think I friended you. You was on another space that I
I
heard
have
last.
I have two profiles. I have the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club one. This is my company one. This is my nonprofit. And then you probably saw the Commander Grand Negro Black Knight. I use it every once in a while. It got like over 1,000 plus people, but I'm more on the company profile because one, I have a lot of information on my profile in regards to like talking about delineation and we talk about like reparations and other things of that nature. So like I have things like that, investigations that we have against people that hate our community, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So like those are the things that like there needs to be open investigations on these clowns that say anti-Negro things, anti-Black American things. We need to
Mm-hmm.
know who they are, what you represent, and we need to get you out the paint legally. Or
Yes.
if worse come to worse, if we have to physically come see you and say what's up to make a presence, as in protesting your ass, we need to be on the ball as a community, especially against all forms of threats.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's been going on, if we let like melanin forms of threats go, then it emboldens the white ones.
Yes.
It
I believe
emboldens
that.
the white ones.
Mm-hmm. I believe that. I don't want to speak too fast, brother. I need to
Yeah, yeah.
let that marinate.
Wait, I got another book too. The wait, call it. Let me get that book right now. I gotta go with my bookshelf. Give me 2 seconds. Gotta watch my books. You got me whipping out books, going through the library.
You know what? I think that's what I remember. I think you was on. Do you know L.A. Ramon?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know him, but I talked to him. I
I
had
mean,
time.
but yeah, I think I ran across his space last week, and I followed you because you were speaking of these books, certain books, and I
Yeah,
followed you for that. I'm
yeah,
actually glad that I ran into you again. Yeah,
yeah.
perfect. I didn't speak on that space, but I was listening.
Okay, the other book that I'm talking about is the other book that I'm talking about is Daughters of the Trade. Now that book right there is the Atlantic slave sellers and interracial marriages on the Gold Coast. So you can kind of see where I'm coming from and why I have those type of positions when it comes
Yeah,
to other ethnic groups because they have made a concerted effort to be in bed with
that's
white
something.
supremacy.
That's something. That book in particular, I think I'll be interested in.
Let me take a screenshot of that for you, my guy. Give me
Please,
a
yeah.
second. Give me a second. I'm gonna see. I got a whole library, a whole library because I'm in grad school, so I'm arguing against professors about certain things, and I have to really cite my sources. They already don't like my ass. They already telling me they don't want me to be here. You know what I mean? So like, if you're gonna sit here and shit on black folks, I'm not gonna make it easy for you. I'm gonna make it so unbearable that you're gonna have to change your lesson plan because you're tired of the shit that I'm saying in your classroom. All right, you dig? Like, I'm the same way I'm advocating on the spaces. I advocate in real time in classrooms, arguing with professor. I've been arguing about professor about we were arguing about algorithms. No, damn well this woman ain't a computer programmer, but I'm out here slaughtering, or we're talking about algorithms. I'm like, you want to talk
Hmm.
about it, but you're not talking about how it affects my people. All
Right.
right. So this is the other book that I got. I'm gonna post this up for you. This book is a game changer right here because this explains these tether women and their mentality and why they do have a deep disdain towards black women and they disrespect black women and why they set up and hate black men. All right. And why they worship Zaddy. All right.
I haven't
That
seen too. I mean, I haven't seen too many Black Americans that usually marry others.
no, whoa,
Is that
whoa,
is
because
that
you're not
is
on
that
the
a
East Coast.
thing?
You're not on the East Coast. It's an East Coast. Maybe it's an East Coast, West Coast thing. Maybe down south because that's where they at. Because they down in Florida, they're down in Atlanta, they're down in Houston, they're on the East
And they,
Coast, they're
but
in New
you know, they
York, they're in Connecticut, they're in Rhode Island, they're in Massachusetts. You dig what I'm saying?
Caribbeans down
Like,
in Florida don't generally fuck with us though.
man, but don't mean that them bitches ain't still giving up the cookie, and don't mean that those melanated dudes is not trying to take advantage of a sister so they can get an anchor baby and a citizenship. All right,
Yeah.
we gotta like my brother, one of my right hand mans, he was married to a Haitian chick. Ended up divorcing her ass because she's nutty in the squirrel shit. So like those are just some of my experiences, brother. Like I've experienced Haitians, Jamaicans, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, um, to people from Tobago. Oh, wait one second.
Hmm.
I got my mom Duke's calling. She cooked me a meal real quick. One of my people's cooked me a meal. Give
Okay.
me 2 seconds. I gotta go pick it up real quick.
Oh, you good? You good? Now that's interesting. And just to expand a little bit on interracial, especially when it involves children, having children. Like I said, we don't want to become more of a minority than what we already are. And Hispanics are getting up there if they are not there. And Asians are getting up there if they are not there. And, we all we got at the end of the fucking day. So why not expand it? I know that a lot of us are maybe tired of each other and the way that things are. But that's why the system of white supremacy and anti blackness have to be broken. That is the main reason why. Because it drives us further away from ourselves. The very first thing that the whites did once they came into our existence was separate us. Separate us. The best thing that you could do to a people, the best thing that you could do to a people to lock them down is to keep them
Oh,
away from their people so that they wouldn't break you out.
back. I'm back now, man. I got
All
me
right.
some pork chops, some pork and beans, and a roll, man. You know, I got that southern
I know
food
you
right
think
now.
I'm a Muslim and stuff, but I'm not. But that damn pork, man, that shit nasty. You gonna get
I
that
know.
one.
I don't eat pork like that either. I don't. I'm eating it for the day though, bro.
I mean, look, I ain't gonna lie. All right, I eat pepperoni. All right, but you ain't taking
No,
my damn pepperoni.
I
And
know it's not a good thing to eat on a regular.
I ain't too much
But
of
that
a hypocrite, but chitlins around Christmas time ain't that bad either. Hey,
yeah.
yeah.
So those two books right there is where I got my journey a little bit. Like, I got some more about racial breeding. Give me a sec. I'm gonna post a couple more books up in there because I got a whole damn library that I'll be arguing with professors with.
I
Oh, they
want to
hate
say
my
this.
black ass.
One of the reasons why I wanted to explain this earlier. One of the reasons why my theme is wrestling with racism is I'm a professional wrestling fan. I'm not gonna reveal myself, but I've been in the business for a decent amount of time, and you know, I'm a wrestling fan. I get what you're saying. Technically, wrestling is nerdy and geeky, and you outgrow it. It's technically for kids. You see what I'm saying? But adults enjoy
But they
it
got
too.
that Greek. They got all types of English stuff in there. Cause my dad used to watch it. Cause he was an English major. My dad before he passed away, right?
Hmm.
And he used to watch it because it touched upon Shakespeare. It touched upon a lot of things just in writing wise
It's a
that
story
he
driven
yeah.
thing.
Yeah, so,
Yeah,
yeah. So that's why he was really looked into it when I was younger. Me personally, I checked it out. I was like, "Oh, this is cool." Once I found out it was fake, really, which was around like 10 plus years of
that's
age,
pretty much.
I stopped fucking
Yeah,
with it.
but see, here's the thing. This is one of the things for my thing for wrestling with racism. The thing is, generally, depending on the person, you know, a lot of wrestling fans, the same thing with homosexuals, same thing with anime people, nerds, people that's in the drawing or certain thing, whatever is not what we feel is within our culture, we tend to shun our people, right? When we shun them, they tend to get comforted by the whites. They tend to get comforted by people that's going to make them not really give a fuck about their own people. We are the ones that seems to them to be their worst enemy, and they tend to be that one white friend, black friend, to say, "Hey, white folk are not racist," and and they distort a lot of shit. I'm just talking about those type of black people. They distorted a lot of shit, which I believe is another form of holding up progress. You get what I'm saying? For whatever black people need to do, to black Americans specifically need to do to overcome this anti-blackness, this anti-black system that we live under. You know what I'm saying? We can say white supremacy all we want to. At the end of the day, it's anti-blackness,
You got a valid point. Or anti-Negro. That's what I'm going to say too.
anti-Negro.
Or as an anti-Negro, Negrophobia. Um, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, I'll be saying all types of stuff. My professor be like, "Yo, I hate reading this little Negro stuff."
And I, I,
Like,
I,
he's
I, I
like, I
hate.
gotta explain every time I'm reading this stuff. I'm thinking I'm in a criminal justice class. I'm getting a goddamn history lesson from this little Negro.
No, I hate. It's a grind too because this is a very specific audience and shit. And I'm like, I just don't understand. You get people. I got people that fucking look at it and view it and understand the way that it is, and they out here, doing their thing. But at the end of the day, we should want to see better for our people. We should want to see better for our people. It shouldn't have to be about race, but when I see it's not an equality of my people, something that I could get in tune with, as I want my culture represented in any way. If you want to portray certain people as thugs, do that, just as long as you don't have everyone being portrayed as whatever they perceive black people to be. But I'm looking at tangibles across the board. I'm still looking at those people to be on the writing team. I'm still looking at them to be executives. I'm still looking at them to ultimately, technically, if you want me to be technical, I don't want them to be part of the organization, the WWE, or whatever major organizations they got around the world anyway. But I
You
got to
want
take
them.
steps with
You
these
want to
people.
create a. You want to create a the Negro Wrestling League or something like that. Am I correct?
Not correct, but not on a small scale. I want it needs to be on a national scale. However, I say this: like, if people like Michael Jordan and Magic Johnson and the Kobe Bryant estate and LeBron James and Kyrie Irving and all of these people was to pool their money together and create a league for us by us. I believe that one, it could rival the NBA within 10 years, but I believe that everybody will be dead within them 10 years too. You know what I'm saying?
Explain the reason why. Why you think the reason why on that one?
Believe that the system of white supremacy is going and anti-blackness is going to allow you to overtake a conglomerate like the NBA. Is so many white folk and Jews that are making billions of dollars off of that. And like I said, just off the faces alone, with LeBron James, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, Kyrie Irving, and all of them coming together to pool their money, of course, people are going to be more inclined to go to their league. You think those white folk and Jews are going to allow that to happen? The NBA giving Ice Cube hell right now for the little Big Three league that he got.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, like what's more
And
about that? I've
and
heard some things about it.
Ice Cube is the very first Black American to own a national league in America history, in American history, and they giving him hell. And I don't even think he trying to compete. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say things like that. You know, I think that's what scare a lot of black people away from doing certain things too. When we build, especially when we build as a people, they tend to tear that down as quickly as possible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand the sentiment. I've experienced it myself when I had a Lions Club. A little bit about me. I created one of the first Black heritage lineage based Lions clubs, cultural and lineage based. It was shut down by the white folks. They pulled my charter. I was a second generation Lion. Oh, they threw me out the whole damn organization. Oh, this nigga out here really trying to go black power civically. You goddamn right. You goddamn right. And know what? This is how I created the Negro Black Knights Heritage Club afterwards. I didn't want the idea and the concept that I created to fall in the hands of the likes of these people, so it could be kidnapped by a bunch of coons. You
Mm-hmm.
get what I mean? See,
Yeah.
that was the thing that I didn't want either, and that was one of the things I've learned. Um, Being in these white people system, we need to have our own table. There's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
having our own table.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with it at all. I mean, we got everybody else governing for us, making all these decisions for us. White folks set the standard on how you are supposed to do everything. That the criteria of even so much of what time bedtime is, what time you supposed to eat, the time of days that you're supposed to eat, the time of days that you're supposed to sleep. School criterias. They the ones that set the school system is them. You get what I'm saying? We don't have any power anywhere, any sustainable power anywhere. And there is nobody making any decisions for us that is us. And if they are, in order for them to even get in that position, they have to literally be against us. Barack Obama had to literally be against us. Yeah, nigger, you could get into office, but you can't do anything specifically for your people.
Actually, he did things specifically for his people. He's Kenyan and something else. He's not a black American.
My bad, you were my bad, you right. What do he do for Kenyans in America? My bad. He damn sure did a lot for the damn whites, especially the white gays. But and the thing is, like I said, a lot of people do not understand that. I didn't think about delineation until I started listening to Tariq Nasheed. Are you familiar with him?
Very familiar. I'm familiar with the 80. If you Google me, you can Google Roland Dunham, right? Or my
Mm-hmm.
name is Roland Dunham the second, right?
Okay.
You can Google certain articles in Connecticut of me protesting, chasing down Marion Williamson. I chased down another politician. He was talking from a religious standpoint and how he wanted to be against reparations, and I had to check him from a biblical perspective and let him know, like, I'm one of those
You
radical.
said, I'm sorry, Junior?
No, second. I'm the second. They might come up
Second.
as junior, but I'm the second.
No, it did come up the second, actually. Okay, I got you.
Yeah. You will see a track record of what I've done, and I'm very familiar with Brother Tyreek. I'm very familiar with ADOS. I'm very familiar. Like, I was at the beginning of the discussion about the reparations when it broke on Twitter with the William Dr. Darity report. So,
Okay.
I've come from working around those type of situations. So I'm very familiar about reparations. I have Dr. Darity's book. I have all Dr. Claude Anderson books. It's mandatory type of thing. I have that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I make sure I have his DVD too. So I got that. So I ain't skimming off on the ancestors. I ain't skimming
Mm-hmm.
off on the elders. All right. I got
Right,
Dr.
right.
Francis Quest Wilson's book. I got Dr. Chancellor Williams' book. I could go. I could risk through. This is all my bookshelf
Are
alone.
you more in line with Tariq views on certain things?
Yes, on a lot of things. I think he's right on some things. I don't. The couple things. Well, I'll give up what I disagree with. I don't think one of the things is I don't think black people should participate any further in the criminal justice system. I think that we need to create our own institutions and control the area and lock it down. I don't think that we.
I want to say this. I want to say this.
Mhm.
When notice I speak about separation a lot. I do believe that we can separate in America. It's very much so possible. And like I said, beyond 40 acres and a mule, we've lived through many inflationary times, and we currently living in one now. So the debt just keep multiplying. So if they gotta kick out these immigrants or whatever, even some people that got their papers, hey, figure out something to do with this damn 14th Amendment and get some of these motherfuckers up out of here. And but they owe us land on top of money. Everyone, a lot of people speak of reparations, they speak of money, but I never hear nobody talk about the importance of the land that's due to us. And along with that land, whatever we settle upon, if that ever becomes a factor, then we as black people need to figure out a way to govern ourselves, like, completely. How do you feel about that?
You come into talking to the right organization. Uh, One of the things we have that what they call the MBNU, which is our government that we created, that we registered underneath our government. A sister who was a legal student, created her own government, registered federally, and we got that up and running out here. So when people start talking about, I look at even I'm from the aspect of that we should be opting out the system completely. That we should
I'm
be
sorry.
creating.
What do that stand for?
That's the Negro Black Nation United (NBNU). So like we have black people with their own governments. We have black people that are moving forward and opting out of the United States system completely. I'm not saying that we should go to war or anything like that. That's not what I'm talking about. But you do have a right to create your own system in a region, in an area that you control. No different from like the Native Americans, no different from any other ethnic group that controls a geographic area that's solely of themselves.
I'm sorry. Can you? I don't want to keep making that public right now. Can you DM that information to me?
You can go on my page. I'll send it to you. I got you. I'll send you that information. That no, no,
All
you
right.
don't know. You could. We have no problem making it public. We have no problem making it public due to the fact that it's registered federally. So
Okay.
what they gonna
It's
do
just
about
certain
that?
things I
You
can
get what?
feel from white folk, but I'm not familiar with it. That's why, But
Yeah, yeah. Like I ain't worried about no. I'm up in the enclave. I'm in Delaware, man. I'm around a bunch of black folks.
yeah.
like, ain't really, man. I'm gonna keep it so true with you out here in Delaware. They
That's
call
the
they
most shocking thing. That's the most shocking thing I've heard in a while. I'm from Delaware. I'm around other black folk. I did not know that Delaware was one of them states.
It's like that on the low. A lot of people didn't know. A lot of people don't know. I go to the library. I go to the library. Right? I'm gonna have to take pictures of it, of the local library. They have what they call an innovative state of the art library, where you can create T-shirts. You can create inventions. They have a STEM lab. They got all types of crazy shit out here in Delaware. And I
Okay.
think that a lot of black folks need to really take this black state majority a little bit more seriously. I'm for it. I'm gun ho for it because I'm in Delaware right now. I got up and left my way of life in Connecticut and said, fuck it. I had enough of this. I'm not getting any looks. I'm not even getting any looks economically. I got a bachelor's going on, a master's degree right now. And I'm debating on going to law school. All right. So
Okay.
yeah, so you can kind of know where I'm coming from a little bit.
Yeah.
And the school that I go to is called University of New Haven, which is the direct offshoot from Yale. All right, as in the Yale University. And that school specialized that I go to is investigations. So that means the CIA goes to my school, the FBI goes to my school, Custom Borders go to my school, ICE goes to my school, CIA goes to my
It's
school.
funny because that's why I don't like the school system, and at least in the public capacity, because
Oh no, bro, this
a
is not a
lot is
public school. This is a private school.
no no no
I
no
go to
no
the
no no
swanky
no
little
no no
private
no no no
schools.
no no no. Hear me out real quick. The reason why I don't like I'm just talking about overall in America, because they don't instill in Black Americans from children what they actually could do, what field they can actually get in. There's not a lot of Black Americans in the oil industry. It's a lot of industries that we don't think to go into, and they try to make it seem like it's wrong to want. And I know it's a lot of Black people in farming, but how many Black American, young people got the idea to actually want to go into farming and shit like that today? A lot of values are getting lost with things that we could do. And we tend to settle for basic things such as maybe, the medical field, or, just, a lot of people, a lot of us look towards entertainment, thinking that's a quick get rich, field to get into or whatnot. It's much more things that we could do beyond what we do as a people overall.
Hey, big brother, you can check out some of the paperwork of how we roll, the government that we forming, and you could read
Hmm.
some of the situations that's right here. Right now, this is a cease and desist talking about for the Free Palestine movement in regards to them misappropriating the watermelon. So we petty like that. We petty like that. You got them out here trying
That's
to
not petty.
copyright.
That's go ahead.
Yeah, we staying on code. We don't want people to take any aspects of our history and what we are, and anything that makes us who we are, and them bastardizing it to push their agenda in order to get support for white people to say that they're like us. So like
Mm.
that's why I said this situation is very very deep. And like at first I thought I was petty just saying delineation. Nah, when I started really seeing the hatred in the heart that some of these individuals really do have for our community, it could break your soul, man. Especially if you love just melanated and black people all around the world. Like I really do love black people all around the world, but I know that some of them mean us no earthly good. I've come to that reality a long time ago. Like, because of some of the things that they have said, they even said that they would kill us if we get reparations. Kill
My bad.
us,
I
man.
thought I was. I thought I didn't know I was on mute. My bad. That's one of the reasons why I brought that up. Like I said, I started getting introduced into the importance of delineation when I started listening to Tariq around 21, maybe 20. But I've noticed before, like, like I said, a lot of Africans is in the hospitals that we are in, and I've noticed, like, damn, this nurse, she got a fucking attitude. Just you just start to notice shit, and
Yes, yes.
I didn't attribute it to ethnicity or whatever. But then after I started listening to Tariq, then I started interacting with these people, and I started going to Florida a lot more and interacting with these Caribbeans. Like, minute. Everything lines up. These people are not. We are not the fucking same, and they don't look at us. They don't. They may not look either. They don't look at themselves as black people, or they look at us as different types of black people. That's just that they not willing to have a fellowship with. Insincerity. They don't fuck with us. I don't know
Yeah,
if it's a history as to where they feel, maybe it's a history. Maybe it's a history. They feel like we a certain type of way towards them. Or, maybe that got egged on from them acting a certain type of way towards
man,
us.
if they
But
feel some type of way to black Americans, why they here? That'll be to sum that up. Why are you why are they here if they
at
have this type of hostility and they feel that way about the native population?
the end of the day. But do you think that that's because, like, like I said, I do feel like a lot of them feel like maybe we ungrateful because from the lack of freedom, the true lack of freedoms that they suffer today, and coming into here, and they feel like if you get a little bit of freedom, that's all the fuck you need.
Wait. What lack of freedom did they have when they're the majority of the population? They choose to
I
be
didn't say it.
subjugated.
I didn't say it was. I didn't say it was our problem. you know, that is their problem at the end of the day. But that still people gonna feel the way that they feel because of the reasons that they feel the way that they feel, whether it's right or it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to figure out maybe these are the reasons as to why they fucking don't fuck
That's
with
some of
us.
the some of the reasons why, from what I observe, is that some of the groups in the diaspora have a deep jealousy of Black American people. We
Yes.
invented more things. We're more world recognized. We have more world recognized icons that come from our group. And it's not because of no damn white supremacy uplifting us. is because we
Dr. Claude
actually
Anderson, Dr. Claude Anderson said that we are a very special people,
exceptional group. Yes, we are,
exceptional group.
and we should be treated as such and move as such. So that's the reason why I say the things that I say. It's not like you, to every section.
Michael Jackson was so exceptional that I think that white folk preserved his life by having his skin turn white. Like they needed his skin to be white. And he's the most copied, and white folk are the ones that's benefiting from him the most financially to this day. The greatest Michael Jackson show is out there in Vegas right now. You know, fucking doing everything that he done worked his ass off for. You know what I'm saying? This white kids get the money, and somehow they gave the. I just found out somehow they gave the fucking power, certain powers back to fucking Sony. Like, you know, but he had to conform. They, you know, he was so exceptional that he had to conform to their skin color just to preserve, you know, another what, 15 years of his life. You know,
No,
we are the most. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, no. I dig, man.
You know, and like I said,
Do
I
you listen?
recognize the
Do
importance.
you,
I recognize the importance of delineation
did
because
you watch Professor Black Truth, or do you like? Because I listen to Professor Black Truth. I listen to Jason Black. I've been listening to them for over 15 plus years. All
yeah,
right.
no, I've been listening to them for a couple of years. The last couple of years, like I said, really all of that stuff, all of this, really after 2020. That's when I started getting more
Uh,
into.
nah, bro. I've been in the game since 2013 or so.
Yeah.
When Tyreek had the Coon Train was coming, and when I was putting up the Coon Train was coming, when I saw some goofy shit on Facebook, they used to flag me. All right, that's how far back I go with this stuff. All right. have you ever
No, but
seen? Have you ever
you
seen the
know what?
little video? The Coon Train is coming.
I'm
The Coon.
familiar with. I'm familiar with it, and like I said, it's more and more prevalent to this day. You know, and like just dealing with these people and listening to their mindset, and a lot of, I mean, they just as bad as the whites.
Because they are wait, some of them do want to be like white people. Like you got the
Yes.
Ghanaians, you got the Nigerians specifically. Them two nations specifically have a deep hatred towards black American people, and those are the people that were responsible for selling us. All right, like
I've
again, you
even
see the
noticed
book,
that.
you see the
I've
book.
even noticed. I've even noticed that the black people, the black Americans that are uh that are tired of us. Like they get to a certain point where they could, you know, get away and all this other different shit. They tired of us, but they want to get away from us, but they still don't want to be white.
I don't know, man. Like those Masons, those D9s, and like they approached me because I'm in grad school. Like I'll be technically a candidate for them, right?
Hmm.
Especially being a, they know not to approach me with that crap. They know not to talk to me because I'm not interested. The first thing I'm going to ask is your organization delineated? Is it strictly Black American people? Is it a Black American frat? Um,
What do you believe that the ratio, you know, within the Masons would be on that?
the what? I didn't catch that.
The ratio of Black American Masons.
I think they're all over the place, brother. I think the numbers are very, very high. The reason why I'm saying that, I will use the D9s as an example. They got D9 chapters in Haiti, and I'm going to say in some of them in Africa as well. All right.
Hmm.
So that means they have a globalist agenda. They do not have a domestic agenda. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's them doing that civically, and that's some of the things I'm fully aware of in that regard that I've seen. And I'm like, man, you about to make me grab my D9 book off the shelf. Give me a second, man. I mean,
I got you.
man, you got me pulling off everything off the damn shelf.
No,
Come on, man.
I understand, but I do got about 10. while he doing that, I just want to say, like I said, delineation is important. And actually, I'm gonna ask him when he get back, but a lot of people don't view it that way because once again, a lot of people still. The main problem is a lot of people probably haven't stepped outside, haven't done too much traveling. So you're only used to what your surroundings are. You may not have dealt with a lot of white folk in a certain capacity to be like, okay, well, most white people are deceitful. Most white people are thieves, they're liars, they're murderers, they're this, they're that. The kind white folk that took you in and, made you feel like you were a person and shit, that's not a reflection of all white folk. Just like how black, they perceive black people as being niggers, thieves, thugs, this, that, and other. That's not how all white folk are. All white folk are not. That's not how all black people are. All white folk are not fucking nice. They're deceitful. They don't value you. You are less than to these people. But the same that a lot of these other black people feel about you.
Mm-hmm.
You're less than. This is exactly how people feel. That's why I say it's very important to delineate, know who you are, and know who you dealing with.
Man, I can't believe my cat trying to
My
violate.
problem is this. My problem with one of the things that I said while you was gone was a lot of people would think like, okay, why are we delineating? A lot of black people in America still do not deal with these other ethnicities to think that these black people care or don't have a respect for us. You understand what I'm saying? Which in turn makes them look at us like we are anti-black, when in
No, my
essence,
thing is, then I'll flip to him is like, how are they black when they don't acknowledge themselves as being black? All right, that would be my first retort to them. You go to a Haitian, they're not gonna. You go off and tell a Haitian they're black, they're gonna tell you they're Haitian. You go up into a Dominican.
I've argued with several Haitians on this app, and they are going to say that they're black to make their side look good. But when I actually go down and converse with these Haitians in real time, they don't consider themselves black, and they make that very clear. It's a difference between social media and real life. Nobody is going to openly say something that's going to make them look bad for whatever narrative that they're trying to push. But in actuality, a lot of Caribbeans and a lot of the African people, like that Tyler chick, she just prime example. She said that she's not black, she's colored, and
That's a
I
great
forget
question.
what
Okay,
the
quick, quick,
other.
quick. You see, I got a problem with that shorty, straight out the rip, because she's trying to push. The term that I have that I created and coined is anti-Negro natophobia. It's basically people who bring their anti-Black American views or anti-Black views to the United States with the intentions of hurting our community. All right.
Yes,
When the color term colored for us, it means it's connected to slavery at the end of the day. American
yes.
chattel slavery. And for her to say that she operates as such, that is a problem. You're not colored on this American soil. You could be colored,
On the
but
soil.
you're a colored immigrant from another nation, from South Africa. All right. But the thing is, she's spreading her country's dysfunction on American soil. And she's basically weaponizing political size it when she makes fun of reparations. All right.
Hmm.
Like I ran a space about that, saying that, and then I'm going in and explaining to people about the
I'm
anti-black.
sorry. She made fun of reparations.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. let me get that. Let me pull that space back up. Let me.
What even made her speak on reparations?
She said, boy, you're not getting wait, let me get that lyric. Give me a second now.
Oh, it was in the song, huh?
Yes, yeah,
I don't
man,
listen to the bitch music. I didn't hear about the bitch to the Breakfast Club, and next thing
brother,
you know, she's a thing. Like,
brother. I knew about this broad for a minute. For a minute, I talked about her on Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Because I was in the same spot where I was at today, right? So what happened was I was minding my own little black business and I saw that song and I was like, what the hell is this bro talking about? And then let me pull that up. Give me a second, brother. Like, give me a second. It's a reason why I be going in on some of these individuals that are anti-black American, not just
so
anti-black,
you you you
anti-black
you
American.
you okay? So you historically know how a lot of people are. I do want to know this. You know, you had a lot of Pan Africans back in the '50s and before the '60s, let's say, before Africans and them really started migrating to America. Were Africans anti and Caribbeans and them, were they anti-black during those times too?
I would say they could be. There's a clip that Muhammad Ali had, right? That was on his page or that somebody kept sharing around where he said that when he was back in the day in whatchamacallit, during the Jim Crow era, he saw that he said these blue black immigrants or these blue black Africans, they were allowed in this place, but black American people were like myself. This was Muhammad Ali that said it. Was a
Was it
famous.
on Donahue or something like that?
I don't know if it was
I
Donahue or
heard her
not, but
doing
it was a
something like that.
famous quote that you'll see the video. You'll see it on YouTube. You'll see little young black people on this app. They be posting it every day. I've seen it come across it like 4 or 5 times. But I'm trying to get this Tyler for you. This Tyler thing for you. So with her lyrics and everything about
I
this
want, I
bro.
want, I want to point out something else that Malcolm X said. He was doing a round table sometime in 1963. It was actually the day that Medgar Evers got killed. He was at a round table with a few Pecker Toms. But they were American. It's like they seemed confused. If you listen to the conversation, it's actually funny how he obliterated each of them. But he did make it plain in 1963 that if you are a dark Hispanic, like a Cuban, or if they find out, if police find out that you got like an African accent or something like that, they're not going to treat you like the American Negro. He said that, and I got that clip somewhere in my file, so I'll post that whenever I can find it. I got a lot of clips, but he actually said that in 1963. He made it clear that black Americans are the ones that's specifically targeted and done unjustly, in at least in situations when it comes down to the police.
Yeah. And on top of that, now they just post a flag up in their window so they know that they're dealing with a foreign flagger and they're not dealing with a black American person.
Hmm.
Right? Um, so wait, here's another one. I'm posting some things up in the jumbotron. One of them is about the here. This is one of the ones I just recently put up. Is all right when it said this is what I post. All right, when Africans come chatting in Black American spaces, I have not seen them talk about their ancestors who engaged in human trafficking and flesh dealing of Negroes and other Africans. His logic was to be the king of the ash piles as long as he had his land. I swear you can't make this stuff up. But y'all stiff-necked Negroes love giving others our attention in our show. Y'all a bunch of clowns. See, I'm very anti Pan African to a certain extent. Because I know
Yeah.
that it's not gonna help us. Oh here.
Well,
This is
see,
the
that's
other
what I
thing.
was trying. That's what I was trying to see. Like at a certain time, did Pan Africans? especially when they knew that
No,
they
no, no, no,
weren't
no. I
going
don't.
to.
I was a Pan African at one time, and then when I started seeing what was really going on with my people and how these individuals really thought about Black
Oh no, no,
American
no, my bad,
people,
my bad, my bad. I didn't mean Pan Africanists. I meant like Africans, like their mindset toward Black Americans. Did they
um,
actually want to come together with us at a certain time in
no,
the 20th
no,
century?
never.
Okay.
From what I've observed, never, never, never. That was never in their best interest. Like they wanted to every time they wanted to do was side with white people. That's how even at the jobs I've seen them try to
Because
screw
like
me
I
over.
believe Marcus Garvey was Jamaican, right?
Yeah, but he said some.
And his
He
very
made
own
fun of
people
black
were
people.
against him.
Yeah, but
Huh?
he also made fun of Negroes too. He also made fun of black people, man.
Well, I mean, and I'm not 100% on this, but I heard that Jamaicans shunned him for wanting, you know, to be more global.
They shunned him because they thought he was a scammer. He wasn't, but they treated him as such. That was like the allegation. And
Well,
then he
anybody
went
that
over to
speaks anything
America.
for progression is going to be scammers. Is going to be
Yeah,
notified or looked at as scammers. Tariq Nasheed may appear as a scammer to a lot of people, but the fucking knowledge that he's pumping out, you know, people pay professors top dollar, right?
fact, fact, fact.
That
I'm
takes
still
time and research and experience, right?
fact. Yeah, give me a sec. I'm still trying to this is a long. I gotta go back months, man.
I got you. I really do got to get ready to go. My wife is